Well, guys, another 3 or 4 minute video. I did the video about strops versus hones, and I had a few people tell me, well, that's great, Mike, but you didn't show us how to actually use them. So I have my paddle strop here, and we're going to take a quick look at how to use a strop. Now, first things first, I'm going to tell you, if you use a loaded strop, now this side has got chromium oxide on this because some steels do really well with chromium, and this side has got a diamond emulsion on it. You can actually overstrop knives with this because they are abrasive. I'm just going to give you a warning. Putting an abrasive paste on here can actually detract from what you're trying to do, and you lose the tooth on your knife because this is 1 micron. Not all knives are going to deal well with that, and it's going to burnish your edge, which means that the little micro serrations that you've established by sharpening it can actually get removed. But for this case, we're just going to use this one because this has got a really toothy, I think 400 or 500 grit edge on this Solar Storm, just because I use it a lot. So using a strop, if I'm just going to use a day-to-day strop, I use an unloaded strop. Like end of the day, I've just used the knife, I strop on some bare leather. And so that's going to work exactly the same way as it does here. So to use a strop, you're going to take the tip of your knife, you're going to put it down, and you're going to look and see that you don't have that gap there, and you're just going to allow the knife edge to just gently sit on the strop, and you're just going to push it away from you in the direction of the micro serrations, and all you're doing is just touching up that very edge. This probably needs resharpened. It's been used a bunch. And you're just going to pass it across the strop gently. You're not wanting to put a lot of pressure. You don't want to dig into your strop. And the nice thing about stropping is your angle doesn't have to be as precise as it does when you're sharpening, because the thing is that this material is a little softer. Let me see if I can demonstrate that. So you can kind of see how I'm pushing in. You can see how that material has had some give to it. And now I can kind of feel that I've pushed on that. Leather is kind of soft and supple, and you can actually just go just along the very edge of that knife and bring that edge back up like that. Now, the nice thing about this strop, now that did do a pretty good job, I have to admit. It might not need sharpening. The thing is, if a strop and a hone don't work, you are going to have to go back to your sharpening stones. The nice thing about one of these paddle strops, this was made by one of my subscribers, Marla White. She sent it to me. See this curvature here? That comes in really handy on some knives, like a recurve Tonto, like my Norseman. Because to use this part of the strop, you see, just like with sharpening, you wind up with that gap. That's not what you want. If you have got one of these, you can actually strap up your recurve knives just simply by passing it a couple times this way and a couple times the other way with almost no pressure. And then you can do this nice forward leading edge, and then you've stropped your edge up and you've maintained it, and you should not have to sharpen as often. Whether using a big, long razor strop or one of these small paddle strops, the method is the same. Like I said, just put it on, find your angle. You can get right on the very apex of the edge. You don't have to do the entire edge. And just touch that up, and all you're doing is, as that edge gets knocked out of alignment in use, you're just basically pulling them back in alignment and bringing that edge back up. And you can get away for a long time on a good strop as long as you haven't let it get too far. So there you go, 3 minutes on how to use a strop. The next one we'll do is how to use a ceramic hone.